Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Detroit Pistons and Boston Celtics. The Pistons roll into Boston on Wednesday night to square off against the Celtics, and let me tell you, this matchup is going to push Detroit to its limits. Boston's sitting pretty with a 17-4 record, flexing their muscle as one of the league's premier squads, firing on all cylinders offensively and locking things down defensively. Meanwhile, Detroit's at 9-13, still trying to steady the ship and shake off a string of rough outings. The Celtics' 1-2 punch of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has been nothing short of electric. Tatum's putting up a cool 28.4 points a night, with Brown right behind him at 25 per game. These guys are cooking, and their relentless scoring has Boston sitting third in the league at 120 points per contest. And don't even get me started on their three-point game. They're knocking down a league-best 19 triples a night at a slick 37.5% clip. When these guys start heating up, good luck cooling them off. On the other end, Boston's defense isn't just good, it's elite. They're holding teams to 109.8 points per game, proving they can shut you down just as easily as they can light you up. Playing at TD Garden has only amplified their edge, as their home court energy has been a difference maker all season long. Now, Detroit? They've got a mountain to climb. Cade Cunningham is the Pistons' heartbeat, and he's been balling, averaging 23.5 points and 9 dimes per game. Having him back after a brief injury stint is huge for Detroit because they'll need his playmaking magic to crack Boston's ironclad defense. Rookie Jaden Ivey's been making noise, too, dropping 18.4 a game, and his relentless energy could throw Boston off rhythm if everything clicks. But let's keep it real. Detroit's been shaky lately, covering the spread just once in their last 6 outings. Consistency has been their kryptonite, and with this game being the second leg of a back-to-back after facing Milwaukee, their legs might be feeling heavy. That in-season tournament game against the Bucks surely took a lot out of them, and now they've got to regroup, hit the road, and take on a fresh Celtics squad that last played on December 2nd. To hang with Boston, the Pistons will need their frontcourt duo of Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren to dominate the glass. If they can limit Boston's second chances and create extra possessions, they might just keep things interesting. But let's be real, Boston's firepower, defensive chops, and the home crowd make this a tall order for Detroit. It's going to take a near-perfect performance for the Pistons to even sniff an upset. When it comes to putting money down on this matchup, I want to give you a full breakdown so you can make your own call. Let's talk about why the Pistons have a tough hill to climb in Boston. Detroit has been ice cold against strong Eastern Conference teams, dropping their last 33 games against opponents with winning records. Plus, they've failed to cover the spread in 9 of their last 10 night games against those same types of squads. On the flip side, Boston's been handling business, winning their last 13 games when they've had a rest advantage. And just to add to their dominance, the home team has covered the spread in each of Boston's last 4 outings. The numbers scream Celtics as heavy favorites. But here's the thing, when I bet, I like to go with more than just stats. I always look at the feel of a matchup, and that's why I'm rolling with Detroit to cover the spread. Hear me out. When the Pistons go head-to-head with the Celtics, it's like they flip a switch. Forget the struggles, they always seem to find another gear in these games. Sure, it wouldn't shock anyone if Boston ran away with this one. They're at home, rested, and stacked. But laying double digits on the Celtics doesn't sit right with me, especially when they're just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Even as a double-digit favorite, they've only covered 5 times in their last 14 tries. Let's not forget their first clash this season was a tight one, decided by just 6 points. So, while this might not be the most obvious bet of the night, I'm trusting the trend here. Detroit tends to punch above its weight in these matchups, and with a 14.5 point spread, I'm taking the Pistons to keep it closer than the spread shows.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino. your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat. As the Lakers roll into Miami to take on the Heat, both squads find themselves trying to shake off some turbulence. It's one of those matchups where both teams have something to prove, and you can feel the weight of expectations as they step onto the hardwood. The Lakers, sitting at 12-9, have been a bit of a head-scratcher lately. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but those moments feel like distant memories with just one spread cover in their last 9 outings. The offense? Yikes. They're barely scraping together 100 points a night over the past 5 games, a brutal stat for a team with 2 superstars leading the charge. LeBron James is still doing what he does best, putting up 22 points, nearly 9 boards, and 9 dimes per game. But let's be real, at almost 40, even the king can't escape father time. You can see the fatigue creeping in, and while LeBron's still carrying a huge load, it's asking a lot for him to keep doing it every single night. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis has been a beast, averaging 27.8 points and 11.5 boards. He's dominating the paint, but even AD can't do it all by himself. The Lakers need their supporting cast to step up, plain and simple. On the flip side, the Heat haven't had it much better. At 9-10, they're coming off back-to-back losses, including an ugly one against the Celtics where they got smacked 108-89. Offensively, they've been shaky. Just over 111 points per game in their last 10, shooting under 44% from the field. Even their bread-and-butter three-point game has gone a little sour. But defense? That's still Miami's identity. They're stingy, holding opponents to 46.4% shooting and ranking in the top 10 for the fewest points allowed. They know how to grind games down to their pace, which could spell trouble for a Lakers team struggling to find any offensive rhythm. Of course, the Heat's hopes hinge on Jimmy Butler's status. He's been dealing with injuries and is questionable for this one. If Jimmy Bucket suits up, his all-around game is a game changer. Meanwhile, Tyler Herro has been stepping into the spotlight, dropping an impressive 23.7 points per night. But with Butler on the floor, the Heat would have that extra punch they've been missing. For the Lakers, they'll need more from guys like Austin Reeves and the rest of their role players. Right now, it's way too much of a two-man show with LeBron and AD doing all the heavy lifting. Recent history leans toward Miami. They've taken 7 of the last 10 matchups against the Lakers. They've also been solid at home, where their defensive grit really shines, even though their overall record against the spread isn't great. This one has all the makings of a grinded-out slugfest. The Lakers are on the tail end of a road trip, and their 5-6 record away from home doesn't inspire much confidence. The Heat, while not flawless, tend to lock things down on their home floor, especially defensively. Unless LeBron turns back the clock and the Lakers figure out how to put points on the board consistently, it's tough to back them in the spot. Miami's defense is built to frustrate a team like LA, and if Butler plays, the Heat's chances only get stronger. If I had to put my chips down, I'm rolling with the Heat to protect their home court in what's shaping up to be a low-scoring grind. They've got the tools to keep the Lakers in check, and their recent dominance in this matchup gives them the edge in my book. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Atlanta Hawks and Milwaukee Bucks. The Atlanta Hawks are heading to Milwaukee to face off against the Bucks, and I have to admit, this one's got all the makings of an Eastern Conference classic. The Hawks are rolling right now, riding a 4-game winning streak that's caught the attention of anyone paying close attention to the East. For a team that stumbled out of the gate this season, they've really turned things around. Trae Young is doing what Trae does best, running the show like a maestro. With his league-best 12.2 assists per game and some crafty scoring, he's the engine that keeps this team humming. Add in Jalen Johnson's emergence as a force on the boards and on defense, and you've got a squad that's starting to look dangerous. The Hawks' offense has been lighting it up, putting up 116.5 points per game, good for 8th in the league. They're moving the ball well, getting balanced scoring, and finding ways to make defenses pay. But let's not sugarcoat it, defense has been their Achilles heel. They're giving up 119 points per night, which isn't just bad, it's downright brutal. That's not exactly the kind of stat you want heading into a showdown with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Speaking of the Bucks, man, what a ride they've had so far. After some early bumps in the road, they've righted the ship and come into this game on a 6-game heater. Giannis has been an absolute beast, 32.4 points per game, 11.9 boards, and doing it all with his signature dominance. And Dame? He's finally starting to click with his team, running the offense and hitting big shots when they need him most. Together, they're a duo that no one in the league wants to see. Milwaukee's offense has been sharp, especially from deep, where they're knocking down 38.4% of their threes. They've got weapons all over the court, and when Giannis gets downhill, it's game over for most defenses. But here's the thing, they're on the second night of a back-to-back, coming off a matchup with the Pistons. That's not ideal, especially when facing a young, fast team like the Hawks that thrives in transition. This game feels like a classic battle of pace versus power. The Hawks are young, hungry, and rested. They'll look to push the tempo and catch Milwaukee's older legs napping. The Bucks, on the other hand, will lean on their experience and star power to control the game. Giannis and Dame will be the best players on the floor, no question, but Atlanta's got the momentum and the energy to make this a fight. I'll be honest, I'm leaning toward the Hawks to cover the 4.5-point spread in this one. They've been covering spreads as underdogs lately, and they've got the kind of swagger that makes them dangerous. Sure, Milwaukee's at home and riding a winning streak, but the back-to-back factor and Atlanta's fresher legs give me pause. It's going to be a high-scoring affair, and while the Bucks might pull out the win, I think the Hawks will keep it close. Let's see if this hot streak of theirs has some staying power. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers and Timberwolves are about to lock horns, and this one's shaping up to be a grinded-out defensive battle. Both teams are bringing some serious intensity to the court, but the question is, who's got the edge when it matters most? Let's break it down. Minnesota's coming into this matchup after snagging back-to-back wins, including a solid takedown of the Lakers. Anthony Edwards was a beast in that game, doing what he does best, leading the charge. The Timberwolves have shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been their Achilles heel. Sitting at 10-10, they've been a tough team to pin down. Edwards is clearly the engine of the squad, dropping a cool 26.7 points per game. And then there's Julius Randle, a new piece of the puzzle, who adds some muscle and versatility to their game. But let's be real, this team's bread and butter is defense. Rudy Gobert is still swatting shots and gobbling up boards like it's his day job, and the Wolves rank 5th in scoring defense. That's no small feat. Now, the Clippers are no strangers to inconsistency either, but man, they're heating up at the right time. Even with Kawhi Leonard sidelined, they've been a force to reckon with. James Harden has been doing his thing, not just scoring, but running the offense like a maestro. And Norman Powell? The dude's been playing like he's got an all-star nod in his sights, averaging 23.6 a night. This team has won 8 of their last 10 games, and they're taking down some legit competition. They've already beaten the Nuggets, Warriors, and Kings at home, so they're not just padding stats against weaker teams. Plus, they're a nightmare for opponents on their home floor. They've covered the spread in 5 of 7 games as underdogs this season. What makes this matchup even spicier is the contrast in styles. Minnesota's physicality and defensive grit versus the Clippers' depth and offensive versatility. The Wolves may have edged out the Clippers by a single point the last time they met, but Norman Powell wasn't on the court for that one. Add him to the mix, and the Clippers suddenly look a lot more dangerous. The rest factor is a wild card here. Minnesota is coming in fresh, while the Clippers are on the second night of a back-to-back. That's no joke in the NBA, especially when the legs get heavy in the fourth quarter. But honestly, the way the Clippers have been rolling lately, I don't see that slowing them down too much. They're locked in, and they know how to close out games. If you're asking me, this one's got the Clippers written all over it. They've been playing with swagger, they've got momentum, and Powell and Harden are clicking. The Timberwolves are still figuring themselves out, especially on the road, where they've struggled to put teams away. I'm riding with the Clippers to cover the 3-point spread here. They've been one of the best underdog squads at home, and I don't see that changing tonight.